Really good fight. Calm down, buddy. Looks like my hook already came out. Awesome. Oh no. Absolute beast. Really good fight. Calm down, buddy. Looks like my hook already came out. Awesome. Oh no. Whew. Look at this fish. Look at that trout. It's a nice trout. It's probably 20 inches long. Not a glorious release, but there's dolphins about, so. Well, good morning and welcome to Outdoor Mishaps. Today we are fishing in a very popular area of the Space Coast. Watch this little micro trout. Bang! He missed it. But I'm fishing in a very popular area of the Space Coast. If you see the area, if you've been there, I'm sure you're going to recognize it. Today's not about catching fish for me, though. Today's about learning this area and learning snook in general. I have been out actually trying to film a video for the past probably 3 weeks. And not every day, just on the weekends. And I have not been able to catch anything. A trout here or there, caught a really nice trout today. Had a bunch of smaller trout as well. Redfish, but no snook. I haven't been able to catch snook to save my life. But today for me isn't about catching fish. It's about learning what I'm doing wrong. I think one of my mistakes was bad casting, poor casting when it comes to snook fishing. But it's also about finding that structure, finding the water movement, which you can see there's wind in this shot. Also finding water depth, that sort of thing. Bait is another thing. There was bait all over today. A lot of mullet, I'm assuming it was glass minnows. Never really got to see a good shot of them, but there was bait everywhere. If I catch a fish, great. If I don't catch a fish, that's fine too, as long as I go home learning something. One thing I've realized lately is I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself just to go out and catch fish because I'm making videos. And that's not what this video is about, and it's not what my channel is about. I'm learning how to snook fish. I've caught approximately 4 snook in my life. I've only been to in Florida a few years and haven't caught a lot of snook. Biggest is maybe 28 inches, just slot. No monsters. I've lost a couple monsters, but no monsters. But I've been putting way too much pressure on myself to catch a fish so I can make a video, and that's not what my channel's about. It's about learning inshore fishing, one mistake at a time. And you can see the kind of mistakes that I typically make from the opening shot. But what I wanted to do today was really slow down. I said I wasn't going to fish every inch of this area, and I pretty much did. That's why I caught so many trout. And the trout were hitting out away from all of the structure, not where the snook or where you would expect a snook or a redfish to be. They were hitting out away from the structure, actually in the deeper water. So, but you can see one thing that I really had trouble with, I think, was my casting and in getting that lure back to where the snook are. And you can see that I've started really skipping under the mangroves. I started getting that lure back to where the trout are, or I'm sorry, where the snook are living at. Now today it probably didn't make a whole lot of difference. It's a very overcast day, a very windy day. So my guess is the snook were not in their typical hideouts. But regardless, I've started getting that lure back to where the snook lurk. Every successful angler needs to learn an area before they really become good and proficient at fishing that particular area. I mean, it's the same if you go to a bass lake or a creek or a river. You need to learn that area before you become good at that area. And some areas don't take very long to learn. You can look for the, like I just said, like the bait, the structure, the water movement, that sort of thing. That's going to give you an idea where the fish are. My main goal with today is to learn something. Now, fishing this area here, there's a little bit of wind movement here blowing into this shoreline. Not a whole lot. Mainly, I just wanted to get a lot of practice under the mangroves, casting back into these mangroves where the snook should live. I did catch a couple of trout. I don't know if they're on video in this area. There was a lot of dolphins today, a ton of dolphins today, and there was a lot of manatees today. And I'm not a fan of manatees simply because they can flip your kayak very easily when they're being skittish. I did have a couple come up and stick their noses right up next to the kayak and take a big deep breath, but none of them panicked, thankfully. The water in this area is deep. I don't have my depth finder. It busted for one reason or another, but I'm expecting the water to be, 6 to 10 feet deep in this area. You get some manatee right there in front of me. But yeah, the water's really deep. I walked away today feeling like I learned something about why the fish were sitting where they were sitting. There was water movement. There was a little bit of depth. There was definitely bait in the area. Now, honestly, I would have loved to catch a big snook today, or any kind of snook today. But regardless, I'm starting to notice patterns. I'm starting to learn about my kayak positioning, about the casting, starting to notice the water movement, whether that's via wind or tide, starting to notice where the bait are, whether that's birds in the area, whether it's actually seeing the bait, whatever the case may be. Starting to notice shoreline structure, whether that be mangroves or docks or dead wood or just drop-offs or potholes. Starting to notice all things as well. And I'm starting to notice, more importantly, the places didn't. Oh, look here. I foul hooked a little bitty trout. All right, Snook snagged him. Oh, did you swipe at it, little guy? Gosh, hang on now. So as I get ready to end this, did I learn this area? No, not by a long shot. I didn't learn this area. But I think I have a little bit better understanding that I did. And I'm happy with the casts that I made today. I'm happy with the practice that I got with kayak positioning and casting under the mangroves and getting up into that cover where the snook actually lives. And honestly, that's what this entire channel is about. It's about learning how to become a better angler, how to become a better fisherman. All right, so if you enjoyed this adventure, if you enjoyed coming along with me in this commentary, I'd appreciate if you guys would subscribe. I'm going to keep exploring different fisheries around Central Florida, try to understand where the fish are, why the fish are there, and hopefully become a better angler one trip at a time. And until the next mishap, I'll see you on the water.